YouTube, what's good, man? Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, it's a little bit different, man. Today we doing a story time, as you seen from the title, of Virginity story time of how I lost my virginity, chat. All right, so to tell this story, I gotta start way back in the beginning, way back. All right, and how this is gonna go is I'm gonna tell you what happened to events before, because events before made sure that I got my little thing wet, you feel me? So what happened, as y'all get your popcorn and everything ready? So I was living with my grandmother at the time. All right, so I was living with my grandma, and we were moving houses because we lived in one area and we were moving to like a higher area. So if you guys know, any of you from Cali and you know Costa Mesa, we moved from Costa Mesa, from one house that we owned to another house in Mesa Verde, which is a better area, right? And thank you, I don't live there no more, so that's why I'm telling you the addresses and shit, so it don't matter. But yeah, so I moved from Costa Mesa to Mesa Verde, and we still own the Costa Mesa house, right? But what had happened was, since we were moving, because we were turning that house into something else, we were moving everything over. So every time I was helping my grandma move everything over, I was doing all the heavy lifting, moving all the big shit over. Even after I got out of school, I would come straight home just to move everything and do all that stuff. Woo. And there was only a few things left in the house that we were leaving at the house, because the other house was already full furnished, even though we were just moving over TVs and dressers and shit that we wanted to come over. So I asked if I could go out with my ex at the time, and asked to go out with friends, basically. And we went to like a beach or something like that. She said, yeah, but be back at the house at this time, right? And so I was like, cool, that's fine. And I told all my homies, and I told my friends and my ex, I was like, I gotta be back at this time. And they're like, that's cool, you're gonna be back at the time. So I was like, all right. So we go. And she didn't specify, keep in mind, she didn't specify which house. So I'm thinking at the new house, right? But she was talking about the old house, and you'll see what's gonna happen and why that matters. So we go out, blah blah blah, we do whatever we're doing, having fun. I think we went to the beach or something like that, and we were chilling. And so I come back, and it was towards the end of the semester. I think it was the last day of school or something like that. So we all went out to the beach and shit, where everybody was hanging out at. And we come back, I'm at the house at the time. I came back early, actually, a few minutes early. And so I'm sitting there. So I'm sitting in my room, because she ain't even there, and they said she'll be here soon. That's what my grandfather told me. So I was like, okay, she'll be here soon, that's fine. Man, come a few hours later, I'm like, she never ended up coming. And so she calls me on the phone and says, where is you at? I told you to be at the house. I'm like, I'm at the house, I've been at the house for hours. And she was like, nah, I told you to be at the old house. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Knowing damn well she didn't tell me that. She said be at the house. So I'm thinking she's at the new house, and we'll go together, and we'll go over there and get whatever the rest of the shit that we gotta get. She meant the old house, I'm at the new house. So she pissed, bottom line, right? She ended up being super pissed, chat. And so as she's pissed, I'm like, but I ain't even get super mad. But she was just cussing me out and all this bullshit, and I was like, whatever, I'm not really tripping about it. So she tells me to wait at the house. She got all mad at me. So she come in, she fast forward, my grandfather come to the house first, and he telling me, oh, she's mad, she's really angry, blah 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 blah. I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, what do you want me to do? That's not my fault. I've been moving everything regardless anyway. She moved a little bit of shit, what's the big deal? And she ends up being real mad. So after she get real mad at me, she come home to the newer house, in my room, bust in the door, and she starts yelling at me and all this stuff. So as soon as she come in the door, I stood up, because she had started to rush towards me a little bit. So I thought she was going to try to put her hands on, she was going to try to punch on me or something like that. But listen, I grew up raised getting hit. So like, don't even trip about the bullshit, because niggas, if you ain't got your ass whooped, you weren't raised right, period. So I thought she was going to come over and try to hit me or something. So I stood up straight, and my grandma's shorter than me. So she took that as an offense and said, why are you coming up, standing up on me like that? Why are you balling your fist up? I did not have my fist balled up. My fist balled up, yo. And she got hot and said, whoa, oh, you gonna hit me now? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Yo, so she said, you gonna hit me? get your stuff. You going to your mom's house, or you moving back with your other grandma. Da 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 da. Or and she said, I'm sending you back to your other grandma. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, all right, fuck it then. And she leave out, I slam the door, and I start packing my shit, right? And so, no. Actually, she did say that, but then she told me, you gotta leave, you gotta get out, blah 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 blah, and basically kicked me out the crib. And I'm like, what? And so she boot me out the house, bro. So I leave, bro. I just dip out, and I'm like, all right. And so I called my girl, and I was like, yeah, my grandma kicked me out the crib. Can I stay over your place for today or whatever? And her family was always hella chill. They were cool. They were like a hippie family or whatever. So they were hella chill with me. And so I tried to get back to the house, the old house, because I was just gonna sleep there because it still had some furniture over there. So I try to sleep there, and I tried to open up the back door, and they ended up locking the back door. So I'm like, fuck, they locked the back door on me. I couldn't do nothing. And so my ex, she let me stay over there, and her family had an RV. So what they did is they let me stay in the RV outside right in front of her crib. And so I was cool. So I stayed in the RV. I would be able to go get breakfast and shit. And then 2 days passed by, and I told my other side of the family about the situation. And they're like, we're going to come get you. It's going to have to be tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So I stayed with my ex after that. So tell my ex, knowing that I'm about to leave and shit, we ain't never fully did nothing, right? She gave me head and shit like that, but I ain't never got in them cheeks, right? So what ends up happening is, I don't know exactly what happened, but bottom line, we end up talking, and we just talking with each other. And then I tell her that the crib is open, because I had to go by the crib to see if the door was open so I could pick my shit up from the old house. I go, and the door is open, right? And so we end up saying blah blah blah, and we end up coming back there, right? And so we end up coming back the end of that night, bruh, on our bikes, right? Because this is back when I ain't had no car at the time, so I only had a fixie. So in case y'all don't know what a fixie is, it's just a 1-speed that you can ride backwards on and shit. So I had a fixie, and I was riding my fixie with my girl, and she didn't live that far from my crib, so we just rode the shit and went to the crib. We had got rubbers from the gas station, bro, and we end up, doing that thing, and I was getting in them cheeks, right? And so boom, I'm getting in them cheeks, bro. And at this time, because this is the old house and she always moving shit over, I'm literally the whole time I'm going through my head, like, all right, I'm kind of looking out the window, I'm hitting it, and I'm looking out the window at the same time. So I'm smacking, I'm looking out the window like, okay, she ain't there. And every time a car would pass by the crib, I would be like, oh shit, because we would have to dip out the back, pull to the side or something like that. We have to dip out the back, and then we have to go around the side of the house in order to escape, right? So I'm like, shit. I'm looking the whole time, and I'm like, okay. And them cheeks, now look, and a car pulled up, and so I'm like, fuck. And I get up, and she get up too, and then I tell her, I was like, hey, a car pulling up, hold on. So we just chilling under, and I'm looking, and the car was making a U-turn, but you know how cars pull U-turns in a small street, and they have to pull into the driveway slightly, and then they back out. Car did that shit, bro. Almost tore my heart out my chest, my nigga. I was like, what? I was like, fuck. Okay, we good. And so we get back into it, bro. Then, not even 5 minutes to getting back into it, I'm going, and all I hear is, I'm like, fuck. The rubber broke, bro. The rubber broke on the nigga, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Luckily, I got spares. I'm strapped, so we chilling on that. But the rubber broke. Had to pull the rubber out, or pull what piece left, and she had to get hers out or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's tough. And so I get the other one, and then we go back in for round 2, bro. And I ain't even gonna cap this, because I was so my head wasn't even there, and I was so out of it. We would end up going for like 45 minutes. I'm not gonna cap with you, bro. It was like 8:30 or 8:45, bro. We ended up going to like 9:30, bro, basically. And I was like, bro. So I end up finally, we end up finishing, blah, blah, blah. And then we dip back to her crib. And her family was cool, though. They let me stay in the house this time, and I just stayed on the couch. And that ended up happening. And then my family, who told me they was going to come get me, ended up come get me for her house. And we go back to the crib. And I ain't even talked to my grandma after that, bro. Oh, God. I had done beef with my grandma that whole time. And then at the end of summer, she was telling me, and I had to register new schools and shit like that. So I registered for another school in Long Beach, where I used to stay, too, because I went to stay with my uncle. and I had to register for a new school, and then and I was calling her for my transcripts because I needed my transcripts in order to transfer school. And so I call her, come my transcripts, and she tell me, "You not coming back?" And I'm like, what the fuck? We got in this falling out. She told me I had to leave, kick me out the house, all that, and tell me I'm not coming back. She saying I only was gonna send you there for the summer. I thought you were coming back. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, hell no, I'm not coming back. So I called, I ended up getting my transcript from her, and we ended up picking it up, and I ended up having to go school in another area, man. So that's how, that is literally the story of how I lost my virginity. It ain't nothing crazy, but it's a lot of beef that went into it at the same time. So that's literally, chat, how I lost my virginity. And if you guys like any of this story time, man, make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel, man, because I always upload hunt content, tutorials, guides, and funny videos. And if you enjoy this story time, let's get this video to 40 likes. If we can get this video to 40 likes, I'll do another story time. And hit me in the comment section of what story time you guys want to see, or maybe I'll just make up my own, bruh. So that's me coming at y'all with another video. Make sure to follow my social media links down in the description below, and join my Discord, man, just in case you want to know whenever I drop new shit. Join my Discord whenever you want to know when I'm going live on Twitch. Join my Discord and go follow my Twitch. And yeah, man, that's gonna be the end of this video. And man, that's Heatspace coming at y'all again with another one, and I'm out, man. Peace.